Hello students. Hello students, I'm Seema Pandey, your biology teacher. Good evening to all of you. Hope you all are safe and sound at your home. So today we will start a new chapter, that is chapter 8, Human Health and Disease. Here we will talk about the human health and disease. So when the functioning of one or more organs or system of the body is adversely affected, characterized by various signs and symptoms, and we say that we are not healthy, that is we have a disease, right? If we are not feeling well, our system or our body parts or organs are not working well, it means that we are feeling uncomfortable, then we will say, said that yes, we are diseased, right? So diseases can be broadly grouped into infectious and non-infectious diseases. Diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to another are called infectious diseases. So the example of infectious diseases is very common, or that is common cold or infection of influenza virus, and AIDS is also an infectious disease. So let's see the non-infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases, this disease are not transmitted from person to person, like cancer, diabetes, arthritis, etc. Right? Drug and alcohol abuse also affects our health adversely, obviously. Clear? So common diseases in humans. There are some common diseases in humans caused by some organism like bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa, helminths. So these organisms are called as pathogens. Clear? The organism which cause the disease are called as pathogens. So disease causing organisms are called pathogens. I told you. Here, most parasites are there are they are for pathogens as they cause harm to the host by living in or in them, right? Pathogens can enter our body by various means, multiply and interfere with normal vital activities of resulting in morphological and functional damage, right? They will damage your morphology or functional function of the your body parts. Clear? So listen, Salmonella typhi is a pathogenic bacteria which cause the typhoid fever in human beings, right? So these pathogens generally enter in the small intestine through food and water which are contaminated. That's why you people are restricted for the eating contaminated food or contaminated water, having contaminated water from the outside of your home, right? That should be clean, neat and clean. So this is about the typhoid fever. Symptoms are sustained high fever, 39 to 40 degrees Celsius. Weakness. You will feel weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite are some of the common symptoms of the disease. So, typhoid fever could be confirmed by Widal test. This is a type of test. This is a type of diagnosis. You can say this is called Widal test. Through Widal test, this typhoid fever is diagnosed or it is confirmed. That right. So listen, student, there in your NCRT book, one case is given, classic case in medicine of Mary Mellon. This is given by name in your NCRT books. That's why it is important. This is important for your board exam, right? So please go through your NCRT book for this for the reading of this case. So a bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae are responsible for the disease pneumonia in humans, which infects the alveoli of the lungs. You had heard about the pneumonia. Whatever you are facing problem nowadays, that is the this coronavirus. This also affects. It also causes the pneumonia-like disease. It also affects your lungs, right? So, this is the viral disease. Symptoms of pneumonia are fever, chills, cough, and headache. In severe cases, lips and fingernails may turn gray to blue in color. Dysentery, plague are some of the other bacterial diseases in man, right? So see the viral diseases. Many viruses also cause disease in human beings. Like rhinovirus represent one such group of viruses which cause one of the most infectious human ailment, the common cold. Common cold is the viral disease caused by the influenza virus. Clear? It affects the nose and respiratory passage, but not the lungs. Influenza virus does not affect your lungs. Clear? Symptoms are nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, headache, tiredness, etc. Sorry, I just forget the comma here. I'm very sorry for this. So please go through it. Protozoan diseases, some diseases are also there, like they are caused by the Plasmodium vivax cause the malaria. See, species of Plasmodium are responsible for different types of malaria. There are a different type of malaria like malignant malaria, right? So there are different species of Plasmodium here. Malignant malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is the most serious one and can even be fatal. Fatal means death causing. Clear? So Plasmodium enters into the human body through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. Sorry, it should be a Anopheles should be start with the capital A and it should be italicized here. I just forget. I'm very sorry for this. So the parasites initially multiply within the liver cell and then attack the RBCs, is resulting in their rupture. What happens? This parasite or this Plasmodium vivax initially it multiply in the liver and then attack the RBCs or red blood cells and they rupture these RBCs through so due to the rupturing of the RBCs there are toxic substance released that is called hemozoin, right? Hemozoin, which is responsible for the chilling and high fever in this malaria recurring every 3 to 4 days. Clear? So this is the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. Actually, Plasmodium vivax completes its life cycle in two hosts, in mosquito and in human beings, right? So here you can see this is the mosquito stages, that is sporogonic cycle, and this is the human being stage. This is called erythrocytic cycle because it affects the RBCs, right? This is erythrocytic because it affects the liver here. Clear? So you can see here, like in mosquito, when the mosquito takes a blood meal ingest gametocytes. See, mosquito take a blood meal is injects here sporozoites. Clear? What happens? Exflagellated microgametocytes present in the larvae of the ookinete oocyst, mosquito stages, ruptured oocyst, sporozoite forms are present in the larvae of the mosquito, Anopheles mosquito, sporozoites of Plasmodium vivax. Then when mosquito bites the human being, it will inject these sporozoites into the blood of the human being, from where it will go through the liver cell and here it will start the multiplication. After the multiplication it start the rupturing of the RBCs or red blood cells, clear corpuscles, right? Then rupturing of RBCs are there. Schizons, see, schizon is there. So when any mosquito will bite this infected one, it will this schizon stage go through the larvae of the mosquito in the other person, right? So this is the Schizont stage you should know, and sporozoite stage you should know, students. Clear? This Schizont stage convert into the sporozoite in the mosquito larvae of mosquito. Clear? And this is the mature trophozoite. So this is all about the life cycle of the Plasmodium vivax. You can say that the malarial parasite Plasmodium requires two host human and mosquitoes to complete its life cycle. The female Anopheles mosquito is the vector of Plasmodium. Remember it, student. And Amoeba histolytica is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine of human, causes amoebiasis. Symptoms are constipation, abdominal pain, and cramps in stool with excess mucus and blood clots. Ascaris is the common roundworm, and Wuchereria is the filarial worm that are some of the helminths are also here which are pathogenic to the